Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic, where this week we have stuff I've been looking for, stuff I've been waiting for quite some time, and even some Minnie Mouse, the main attraction stuff. But first, we're going to start out with an item that is not only not Disney, but it's arguably not even child-friendly. So, last weekend, we went to a store out in Folsom called The Cave. It's essentially the descendant of the now defunct Dimple Records chain. And in it, they had on display in a glass case this lovely thing. Yep. Gaze in the glory of that thing. And sorry, it's not a great picture. It was in a glass case behind a counter. Unfortunately, it was $100, which is a little more than I was willing to spend for that awesome, awesome Pikachu. However, I did have on my Amazon wish list this slightly less awesome, considerably smaller Pikachu. Now, it says on here, Pokemon Pikachu, or though on this side it says Pokemon Pikachu, but something tells me this probably isn't an officially licensed product. Let's take a look at it. I might have opened it already. It originally had a plastic bag as well as the shrink wrap, and I just tossed out the plastic bag because I couldn't wait to today to see what it looked like. But now, you can see what it looks like. Yep, it's Pikachu. Presumably, if a chest burster... No, I'm getting that wrong. Presumably, if a face hugger captured a Pikachu and a chest burster busted out of one, this is what it would grow into. Yep, our little electric mouse xenomorph. Let's see if we can get a better view from here. That's probably about as good as that's going to get. Yep, he's actually very, for a bootleg item, for a knockoff item, he's actually very well detailed. Only thing I don't understand, well, a couple things I don't understand. One is why the skull here actually looks kind of human instead of rodent-like. That's not what I think a Pikachu skull would look like. And the other would be these little red things. It seems like they're meant to go on his feet, but they're only sticky on one side, so they wouldn't stick like to the shelf you put them on, so I'm not sure what they're there for, and there were no instructions in the package. So let's go back to the Amazon page and see if there's any more details. One difference actually between this one and the one pictured on the box is they've painted the little red dots on his cheek like Pikachu usually has. And of course, the one on the box doesn't have that. And honestly, I think I kind of like it better without those dots. But you can't have everything, and again, it's just a bootleg item. Interestingly, they also had them in different colors, like in black, which would make it look a little bit more like an alien than Pikachu. They also had Bulbasaur ones, which don't like Bulbasaur as much. They had Psyduck maybe, but not Bulbasaur. Yep, there is our alien Pikachu. He will be finding a place on the shelf sometime after Halloween when I change some of these things over again. Alright, let's move on to something else. Alright, next look at our Minnie Mouse, the main attraction items. So, we finally received in our Dumbo ears. I have to order these actually quite a ways back, I think. And that's good. And they finally showed up. So let's take a look at them. I'm not going to read the tag again. I read the tag, I'm sure, back when we got the pins. Don't need to read them again. But got sequin ears, cute little ruffles on them, kind of circusy. We've got the big gold circle with the red star in the middle. And this feels like it's lacquered plastic, so it's not metal or anything. The weirdest thing to me about these ears is that there's an actual feather on them. I was figuring that would be a felt feather or some sort of faux feather, not an actual feather. But yep, that's a real feather, which means this is now probably number one for breakability. Previously that was the Pirates of the Caribbean ears that had that foam boat on them. But I'm going to say this feather is going to be much easier to break than that foam boat. Although this would be easier to display depending on how you're doing it, because it at least doesn't stick out to the front and back of the ears. So yeah, that's them. They're cute. Now, of course, we have to wait till sometime next year, hopefully, for the plush. But we have the ears. And not just those ears. We have some other ears, too, because, see, my Big Thunder Mountain Railroad items came in. Yep, Series 9 of 12. We now have Big Thunder Mountain ears. And this, of course, not only just represents, I think, Big Thunder Mountain. I would take this to represent all of Frontierland. Because we have the mountains in the background, giving you that kind of southwestern Old West feel. We've got the BTM, Big Thunder Mountain logo on it. And, yeah, they're cute. They're, the color scheme very much evokes, I think, the Southwest. We have this nice little faux rawhide tie in the middle of the bow. And lining the sides is a train riding on the rails. And remember that train, because you're going to be seeing it again in a minute. But not just yet. First we have the Big Thunder Mountain pins. Yep, so these actually have the words on the back of them. We'll read the back of this. No, we won't, because there's ears all over the words. I guess we'll have to read it off of something else. Let's take a closer look at these pins. So here's a close look at our Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, Big Thunder Mountain pins. We've got the ride, we've got the mouse, we've got the ears, and it seems like a good time to read you the stuff on the back here that I couldn't read because there's pins blocking it. So while you look at those, I will read to you the thing that's on all the cards for all the items, for all the Big Thunder Mountain items. Hang on your ears! The Big Thunder Mountain Railroad attraction streaks through a deserted ghost town and long-lost mines from the Gold Rush era. The rip-roaring ride first opened on September 2nd, 1979 at the Disneyland Park and has been taking guests on a high-speed, rickety adventure through cursed caverns, chiseled canyons, and a wistful waterfall ever since. So yeah, that's what the card says. And then again in French. So let's look at these pins a little closer. Yep, we've got the ride vehicle, the train, or at least the train, the engine part of it. And I guess, yeah, people sit in that first car, don't they? Because that's where people got hit when the overhang stuck out too far on that. And of course, the mountain in the background, presumably Big Thunder Mountain. Then we have the Minnie, a fairly good match to the plush, I feel. The boots are a little more pronounced as actually being kind of cowboy boots than the one she's wearing on the actual plush. But, I mean, the idea is a cross. And then she's got the dress. You can't see the train on there, but you do have the pattern of the mountains and the bow matches, and it's that new kind of weird-eyed Minnie. And then again, the pin of the ears, also a pretty good match to the real ears. You've got the pattern of the Great American Southwest on the ears there. The bow matches. They kind of done that more in gold, but it's clearly meant to be the rawhide that's holding the bow together. Yep, it's a cute set. They were $20. They were $20? I thought they were 25. Apparently they were only 20. I don't know. These things are all so expensive. Weirdly, they charged me more for shipping this lot than usual. Usually it's like $6. This time it was 12. I don't know why. And then finishing off our Big Thunder Mountain haul and our Minnie Mouse, the main attraction items for this week, is the plush. It's Minnie herself. Now, kind of a funny thing about the plush and the pins in particular is that I'm going to be getting a second set of them. So due to circumstances, and I've heard this from other people as well, these were listed as being one per guest only. And yet, when I ordered them, I didn't think it had gone through. So I tried to order again, and of course this time the ears were gone. This is, at like 3 minutes past 7. And the second order went through for the plush and the pins, and then I got confirmation notices for both. So of course my first concern is, oh dear, they're going to cancel my orders, and they're going to cancel the first one because it has the ears in it. And so I emailed immediately. I emailed and said, hey, due to circumstances I'm not going to waste your time with, I've put in 2 orders, one for the ears, the plush, and the pins, and one for the plush and the pins. And I know it says it's one per customer only, so if you have to cancel one, please cancel the second one. To which I received an email saying, if you have duplicate charges on your account, don't worry, those are just holds. They'll drop off in 5 days when your bank releases them. To which I responded to the effect of, well, I thank you for your prompt reply, but I don't believe you've actually read the contents of my message. My concern is that since I've ordered 2 of items that are labeled one per guest, you're going to cancel one of those orders. If you do, please make sure you cancel this number and not this number, because I do want the ears. If you do end up sending both, that's fine. I'll sort something out. But please make sure you do not cancel the first order, to which they sent the exact same auto response about credit card holds. So, yeah, that's fun. Unfortunately, it means I took this from somebody else, but these stayed up on the website, I think, for a while and have popped up a couple times since. So you've had reasonable chance, to get them. I don't know. We'll probably gift that second set, or I don't know what we'll do with the second set. But this means we are now caught up completely on the pins. We have all the plush except for Dumbo, which wasn't released, and all the ears except for Tiki Room, which seems to be the one set of ears we never see pop back up for sale, which is weird. They're still popping back up the second and third ones, but never Tiki Room. Never Pirates either. Well, no, the third and fourth ones then, wouldn't it be? Be March and April. Tea Party and Small World. Yeah, none of the things in the first two. Yeah, nothing from the first two ever comes back up either. But again, she's kind of representing all of Frontierland. They've tried to kind of give her boots, sort of like they did on the pin here. I don't know how well you want to say that that worked. They are still the exact same, pattern for her normal shoes. And I remember that train? Yep, there it is again. You can see it much better this way, riding along in front of the same mountains as the ones shown in sequins on the ears. So that's nice. Although the train does make it look like it was drawn by Pluto, so I'm not sure how great that is. They've chosen to give her kind of a pinkish skin and gloves, which I guess is supposed to play off the pink in the dress. And she's got herself a little neckerchief here. I guess if she wants to rob any banks, or maybe just keep the dust out of her face. Those aren't suitable for protection from you-know-what. So they aren't delivered in Disney Store that way. But again, on the back of her little neckerchief here, we do have the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad logo there. BTM. Not to give this to BTS, the musical group. The bow, honestly, I'm a little surprised they didn't do the bow to a little more match the one on the ears. They just kind of gone with the kind of pinkish and gold with a fabric tie. And I honestly think that bow would have looked much more striking on her. Although, plus I'd say it clashes with the dress too much, but it would have matched the kerchief, which I think would have been a good look. And of course, because there's one that didn't have a tail. I believe, yes, she does have a tail. I don't know why that one didn't. Or maybe it does and I just managed to not look well enough. But somebody else told me that theirs didn't either. And I don't believe ours does. Yep, there's our Minnie Mouse. So again, the only hole we have in that set right now is the Dumbo one, because it was never released. And of course, we don't have any of the Haunted Mansion stuff yet. Hopefully, we'll be getting that at some point soon. So that's it for Minnie Mouse, the main attraction. What should we look at next? Next, let's move on to Funko Pops, because we gotta have some Funko Pops. Not as many as last time, but we've got some. And last time I mentioned, looking at the Disney attraction Pops, that there was still one I was looking for. Of course, aside from the castle with Walt, which we may or may not ever actually get unless I want to spend way too much money on it. But we did get this one. The Target exclusive number 87 Mad Hatter at the Mad Tea Party attraction. We found ourselves in an area last week that we don't normally go to, so we hit up the Targets in that area. And at the last one of them we checked, because we wouldn't have kept checking having found it, my wife did find this one on a rack over by the cashier in electronics. It wasn't with the, it wasn't over with the Disneyland 65th anniversary end cap, which I was surprised to see them have, because none of the ones around here have them. And it wasn't with the pop culture area where they have the higher end action figures and most of the Funko items. It was over by cashiering, which also had some other Funko stuff on the rack, but I don't know what it was anymore. It wasn't this. Well, it was this, but it was only one of these. So we got the last one of them. Yep, it's the Mad Hatter. And again, I kind of regret now not having purchased the Alice and Cheshire Cat ones in the teacups. But oh well, there's only so much room to store things in anyways. Let's get him out of the box and take a closer look at him. Here he is, the second maddest Hatter of them all, because of course Hatbox Ghost is the maddest Hatter. The Mad Hatter himself, who's showing why you shouldn't try to drink tea on a ride, because he's making a horrible mess. Honestly, that's really, really dark tea. I would almost guess that's maybe coffee. Has the Mad Hatter been lying to us all this time? Is he really a coffee drinker? Is it a coffee party? But it's well detailed. It's got his sideburns sticking out. Got his 10-6 on his hat. And yeah, I do kind of wish we had picked up the other two Tea Party Ride Pops they've released over the years to go with them. But to be fair, I mean, it's not like they're going to shelf together like that, like this out of the box. They're going to be in their boxes, and he's probably going to stay with the 65th stuff because, as I'm sure you noticed, the box has that faux aged look to it like the other 65th anniversary ones we looked at last week. And much like the ones last week, he does not come out of his teacup. His head does turn, though, if you, for some reason, want to have him looking off to his side. If you put him on the shelf yourself. We were very lucky to find this in Target. Like, so we looked probably about 8 times in the last couple weeks for this, and just happened to find this one at a Target we don't normally go to, which, to be fair, is the same Target last year, I believe, that we found the large Ezra Pop. So I guess maybe we should consider driving out there more often. As far as trying to get one yourself, it's still fairly early days. This Target actually had a 65th anniversary end cap. There was no 65th anniversary merchandise on it, but maybe that means they're getting more in, or they're getting an assortment of items. So there may still be chances to find him. I think it's fairly early days. Just keep hitting up your local Targets if you're looking for him. Definitely don't buy him from flippers online if you can avoid it. And realistically, you probably can. You just got to be persistent. We have one more Funko Pop today, and it's one I've been waiting for a while. And honestly, I feel a bit chuffed about it because I got it for like $10 less than Shop Disney was charging for it, even though it got a little bit delayed. And it's this one, the Haunted Mansion Attraction and Butler. This is part of the Pop Town series, number 19. Not part of the Pop rides like the other ones, because of course, when Pop says rides, they mean vehicles, not actual theme park rides, even though we now have a bunch of them that are actual theme park rides. Yep, the Mansion and the Butler, thereby completing, I think, my Haunted Mansion collection for this year as far as Pops go, unless I happen to stumble across a couple of the chase figures for Alexander and Constance that aren't massively overpriced. But yeah, this matches, of course, he'll go with the maid, although they won't be able to be displayed together because he's in a big box and she's in a normal box. And also she doesn't want to stand up. So let's pop this open and see if he wants to stand up. Ah yes, here it is at long last. The Haunted Mansion itself. And it's the real one. It's the one from California, from Disneyland. Not the Florida one, not Phantom Manor. The real, original Haunted Mansion. You know, that's where you queue up, come up here, go in the door, to the main hallway, and then into the stretching room. And into a house that is clearly much bigger on the inside than it is on the out, because it's a TARDIS. The butler is much more stable than the maid, and he is holding his hands behind his back, which you think would make him even more back heavy, but he's not. He's actually fairly stable. As where the maid, I think, has his stance. His feet, I think, are a little bigger and a little wider apart than the maid's were. So he's just much more stable. He's still going back in the box, but he's much more stable. And again, it's a nice amount of detail, I think, on the mansion. Yeah, there's some visible seams where they've pieced it together, but who cares? It's faithful to the way it looks in the park, right down to the fact the back has no windows on it, because you really aren't supposed to see that part of it. And yep, this is kind of a must-have. If you are a Haunted Mansion aficionado, you kind of have to have this piece, and it should be fairly easily available. I still haven't seen it in any stores, but I mean, I picked it up off of Amazon, I think for about $30, which is nice because it's going for $40, I think, normally. I think it was $40 on the Hot Topic site. I think it was $40. I know it was $40 on Shop Disney. And I got it for $30. And it showed up and the box wasn't even messed up, which is even better. Yep. This actually may mark near the end of our Haunted Mansion stuff for this year. I don't think I have anything else. Well, I have one more thing on order, but I don't think that's going to come in before Halloween. It may not even come in before Christmas, to be honest. But it's on order. If it comes in, I'll show it to you. But as far as Haunted Mansion items go for Weekend Magic, I think I only have one more thing to show you. While we're on the subject of the Haunted Mansion, let's segue into this. Yes, that is the Hatbox Ghost. Yes, the best ghost of them all. It is a D23 exclusive. Thankfully, my wife is a member of that. Limited edition of 1750 from the official D23 fan club. And yep, it's the Hatbox Ghost. This was the one that sold out on their website the fastest, which is, it still took a little while. But yeah, it was gone first. It's a very cute little cartoony, goofy looking version of the Hatbox Ghost, which I want to say corresponds to some of the earlier artwork for the character. But there wasn't just this one pin that was an exclusive D23. Also limited edition 1750, I believe. Yep. We have this little pin here. And I'm not sure who it is. It's wearing a mask, but I think it might be Tinkerbell, sitting on a jack-o'-lantern, which looks rather happy about the situation. They're both very nice. I mean, they feel like simpler pins to me. They don't really feel to me quite like they are in line with the style of a lot of the current pin trading pins. And I don't know if these are actually meant to be considered pin trading. I mean, they have the Mickey backs on them, but they don't have the pin trading logo on the packaging. But they feel like simpler pins to me. They don't have the kind of glossy level front that a lot of the pins have now. They feel like they're meant to be reminiscent of an older time, like the 70s or the 80s. But they're both very cute pins. They were limited edition. I believe they're both gone now. According to the website, they haven't even shipped to us yet, but here they are. They came on a padded envelope, which, it protected them. They showed up well enough. But no, the padded envelope was good. It was good. It was a good way to ship them. They've shipped things worse. So segueing awkwardly from one holiday to another, let's move aside our Halloween pins and move on to this. I guess this is this year's charity pin, because remember last year they had that train pin, and this year they have this one. I think it's for charity, but I'm not 100% sure. It did ring up as a charity pin, but I don't see anything on here about it being for charity. I want to say last year's pin said something on the card about it being for charity. But of course, it's those gingerbread Mickey and Minnie again. We've seen them before. They had the Mickey on that key ornament that I showed you a couple days ago. And again, this says 2020 on it, as if we want to be reminded of this horrible, horrible year. But it's a cute little pin. It was $12.99, and we happen to be fortunate they were, I guess, just got them in when we went into our Disney store. And the manager saw us and said, oh, make sure to show them the new pin. So naturally, we bought the new pin. And yeah, it's very cute. I'd actually seen this on the website, and we considered buying it, but hadn't done so yet. And I'm not sure it's even on there anymore. But if you have a Disney store near you, check them. They may still have them. So today we've looked at Minnie Mouse, the main attraction. We've had Haunted Mansion. We've had pins. We've had pops. What else could I possibly have? Well, I have this. The Child. Yep, this is the Star Wars Black Series version of The Child from The Mandalorian. And yes, it is absolutely tiny. I can't imagine a lot of these aren't being walked out of the stores in pockets, because they are pocket-sized. And yeah, it's got the same sort of level of detail that Black Series figures usually have. It's even got his little froggy feet there. I don't know if you can see them on the camera or not. Hopefully you can. And keeping in scale, it's got a frog, the bone broth cup, and the gear shift knob in a size that you could accidentally inhale it. Notice in here that these items, these accessories, are actually in their own little plastic case, because the moment you open those and take them out, especially that gear shift knob, they will absolutely be lost forever. But it's adorable. It was $10, which is, I mean, kind of a lot for such a small figure, but it's in range with what you normally pay for black figures, which is usually like 20 to 25, unless you're buying them at Five Below for $5. Yeah, but the funny thing is, it rang up as a 6-inch figure, and like even with the peg tab here, this thing in 6 inches. But I'm guessing that's just maybe how all Black Series figures ring up there. But that's not the only thing with the child. We have one more item today, and it's an item I have been waiting for literally for the last like 6 months. I believe we ordered this around the same time we ordered the Razor Crest Lego kit. And it just came in this week, which is nice because they previously said it was going to come in December. And here it is. I'm not playing the music this time because I don't want to get copyright claimed again. But here he is, the child. Now this may just look like that one that squeals like a baby that you've seen in the stores already, but it's not. This is the animated one. Oh, come on, you worked before. There we go. Yep, he even comes with a unfortunately looks like kind of a cheap plastic version of the necklace. We have to go to Hot Topic and maybe buy the metal version and replace it with that. But yep, he is animated, and well, he is going to have to come out of the box, isn't he? He's just going to have to come out so that we can see him outside of demo mode. Got my box cutter here. Let's free the child from the box. Yep, there are items that I'm hesitant to open and items that I'm not. And he is an item I am not. And it's not because I'm buying a second one of him, because he's way too expensive for that. I think he was like $60. Oh, at least it comes out of all these instructions. Well, we can go to the outer box at least. And oh, these are interesting. So instead of ties, we have these twists. Do these twist off? How do these work? Yeah, they do. They're just like little twist offs. Oh wow, that is so much easier than cable ties or paper strings. He comes right out. That's amazing. Let's see if we can get his necklace too. This is held in, looks like a little bit better. But not a lot better, just a little bit. Let's get rid of the rubbish. Give him his little necklace, and of course you can wear it too, and indeed as long as the string is, you probably need to. Let's double loop that around him and see if that maybe makes it fit on him a little bit better. And there we go. That's a little better. All right, so some of them must be, well, should we read instructions? That's how to change the batteries. There's a switch on his butt. All right, let's check out his butt. All right, is he on now? Should I see what the switch actually does? Activate sound and move combos. So are you awake now? Nope, I think I turned him off. Well, it makes those same baby noises as the other ones, doesn't it? So what does he do? Activate force move. So you touch him on the head 3 times. He looks like he wants to fall over, doesn't he? That didn't. 1, 2, 3. That's not working. You press once for your sound and movement. Use the force. Come on. There we go. Oh, he's all worn out. And then to make him sleep, we tilt him over. Oh, look, he snores. I don't think he did that in the show, did he? So basically, he's... Oh, hello again. He's got a very similar functionality, I think, to... Oh, he's supposed to rock. Look, he's not flat on the bottom. He's... Whoa, he got really loud all of a sudden there. Oh, I guess that's putting him to sleep. So yeah, it looks like he is meant to rock back and forth, so he's not falling over. But basically, function-wise, he's probably not a lot more than co-pilot Chewie. But he is adorable, and I think, honestly, this is probably the child item we really need to buy. I'm obviously going to fix that necklace so that's not at the front. But this wraps him up, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I've got the Black Series 1, I've got a full-size plush, got the Lego version. Hush, child. Go to sleep. You're very loud. So unless I come up with something really fantastic, I think I'm done collecting the child items. It says he holds this. So it looks like only his left arm is animated, but the right arm... Surprisingly, I haven't come with the gear shift knob. Because you could have a way to mount the gear shift knob on his hand there. But, yep, he's very cute. Is he worth $60? I would say, as far as getting him for a child, getting the child for a child, he's probably a bit of a Christmas morning toy. I don't think there's a lot to do with him. He seems to be slightly less functional than our Furby, just at quick play and looking at the instructions. He doesn't seem to respond to voice at all. He just responds to, like, 3 physical inputs. Don't pick him up by his ears, because they'll break. They're rubber. The head itself is actually a hard plastic. The ears are rubber. The hands are kind of a soft vinyl in between the rubber of the ears and the hard plastic of the head. And as you see, he's got the nice little glossy eyes that the big plush has. And he's very cute. He is clearly, I think, an item more for adult collectors. We're going to put him up on a shelf or have him as a desk toy. Then I think he's actually for little kids to play with, because there's not a lot of play function here. So unless you have a kid that really just doesn't demand a lot from their play items, this is probably not a great one for the kid. Maybe get him that plush set they had at Costco for like $25. That is, I think, a little bit cheaper than the plush by itself, and comes with, I believe it was like the necklace and the bone broth and the gear shift. And that's going to wrap it up for this week. Me and the child want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like and make sure you're subscribed and all the normal stuff. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next video. You have anything you want to say out to us? Can you stop the camera? Come on, child, turn the camera off. No, stop yawning. There we go. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes.